All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. We are joined here this evening by a candidate for Broward County Tax Collector. We are now joined with Miss Abbey Ajayi. I think I pronounced that correct, did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Miss Ajayi. And she is going to be talking to us about this newly formed position here in Broward County, the Broward County Tax Collector. And we're going to be asking Miss Ajayi some questions. So, Miss Ajayi, welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. We are very welcome. We were having some a little bit of technical difficulties on both sides, but that's just technology. That's what happens, but you can't keep a good pair of men and a young lady down very long. We persevered and now we're here. So if you're just joining us, we're a little late, but we are here. So Ms. Ajayi, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us and the viewers about you and tell us about you and your education, when you grew up. You don't have to tell us any of your personal life or anything, but just whatever you want the voters to know about you here in Broward County.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Adams Brothers, for giving us this platform, for giving me this platform to provide critical information about this brand new office. And of course, to provide information about my candidacy, my experience, my qualifications, what I bring to the table. Thank you so much for the opportunity to do that.
You're welcome.
My name is Abbey Ajayi, and I'm running for the constitutional office of Broward Tax Collector. I am currently the manager of the Broward County Tax Collector's Office. So I bring to my candidacy 8 years of tax collection experience. Academically, I have an executive MBA from Florida Atlantic University. I'm also certified by the Florida Department of Revenue to collect taxes. In addition to that, I have 30 years of financial services industry experience in banking as manager, vice president. On the investment side, I ran my own investment firm, and I grew that business from 0 to 50 million before I left. So in combination between my academics and my experience that I'm bringing to this office, I am more than well qualified and the most qualified person to run this office on day one. 42-year resident of Broward County. I am married with 3 kids. That is my what I feel like the most accomplished about my family. I am very proud of my kids. And I raised them right here in Broward County. So all my career and all those 42 years have been in Broward County. So I am fully vested in the success of this county. So this is personal. This new office and making sure it's successful is personal for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that introduction of yourself. This Broward County tax collector's job here, a position that's going to be up for grabs for, I believe, 3 candidates that we know of so far. You're going to be responsible for a lot of money. I believe a little bit over like around $5 or $6 billion, I believe, if I'm somewhere in the ballpark. Am I correct?
That is correct, but I'm already responsible for that amount of money because I'm currently in seat doing that job for the past 8 years.
Right.
So I have a team of close to 50, and I work side by side with my team in the trenches, making sure that we deliver for the residents of Broward County. And we've been doing that year after year.
Right. Right. So you've been doing it already. So that was going to lead me into my next question, which was going to be what experience, and I know you deal with a lot of money. What experience do you have with budgets and preparing budgets? And you're going to be working with a lot of money. So tell the voters out there your experience with working with budgets and how thorough you are, and the checks and balances and whatever you want them to know. What is your experience with budgets?
And we know you've been in the office office for 29 years.
Right.
I know.
I don't believe I said 29 years, but
Yeah, right.
30 years in financial services industry. My whole career has prepared me for this job. Running a branch office of $23 million budget as vice president of Union Bank. I had a budget of $23 million, and very, very important to make sure that everything you do, you consider the expense, the money you're spending, to make sure that you stay within budget. Every year prior to the new year coming up, we set the budget and we know what line items, how much is earmarked for each line item, and we make sure that we don't overspend. Fiscal responsibility is not new to me. So we're on a very, very tight shift to make sure that we stick within the budget.
Right. And this new agency, this new position in the Broward County, here in Broward County, you're going to be working with other agencies. What other agencies in government will you be working with?
Okay, so basically this new office is a constitutional office. We will be reporting to the Florida Department of Revenue. We will be presenting our budget to them and they will be approving that budget. Obviously, because of the nature of what we do, we will be working with all taxing authorities across the county, and obviously all the elected officials and all the city council members. And most importantly to me, we will be working with the community. We will be working one-on-one with our community. That is our job. Our job is to work with our community. The money that we collect is earmarked for critical services in the community. So we take that job very seriously. Cities, counties, they have projects that they have to fund. So the money we collect are earmarked to fund all these projects. So a lion's share of what we collect goes towards the school board to educate our kids. Very critical. We also have a portion of it going to BSO for safety, and a portion going to the hospital district that cater to low-income people. So this is serious. This is a very, very important job. And I consider us the county's bank because we collect so much money. Our primary function is collecting property tax, which is the mother lode, if you want to call it that. You mentioned earlier that $6 billion this year. If you look around the county, you see all these developments going on. Our tax base is increasing year after year. Next year, we're going to be talking about $7 billion. That is why it's critical for our voters, our community, to understand the importance of this job. Even though it's new, it's a critical job, and the mass is massive. The scope of it is very big. So it's very important to have somebody in place that has the experience and the knowledge to get the job done on day one, because we're dealing with taxpayer funds. We have to be accountable. There has to be transparency. There has to be efficiencies in our collection process to make sure we meet deadlines and distribute that money quickly to communities, our communities, and all the taxing authorities to get things done.
Right. And since this is going to be a newly formed position in government here in Broward County, I'm sure there's probably going to be some glitches here and there. Since this is brand new coming into Broward County. It's in other counties here in Florida, but not here in Broward. If we have some glitches, how would you handle those little glitches in the system? Are you prepared to do whatever you have to do to make sure that the operations go smoothly? How would you handle those little glitches?
All right, so let me clarify. Although this is a new constitutional office, we're mandated by statutes to do particular things, and that does not change. The job itself does not change. So what we're currently doing under Broward County, our division is record taxes and treasury. We have a director and we have a senior manager, then I manage that office that carry out those duties that we're mandated to do by law. So those duties do not change under the new constitutional office. They're the same. What changes is the fact that we will take over driver's license offices, which everybody knows we have some work to do there. Yes. So the duties did not change. We're moving over to a constitutional office. Where it becomes, where it's different is the scale of the change in terms of expanding across the county. Right now, we have one office downtown. So as a constitutional office, I want to make sure that our communities have our services at their fingertips. Somebody living in Hallandale does not have to drive downtown to pay their property taxes. So somebody living in Deerfield Beach. So the intention is to expand offices across the county. For example, Palm Beach County has 6 offices and they have about 362 employees. So we are the second largest county in the state. So we will be expanding to provide services in the communities that we service. In addition to that, we will be consolidating those services so we don't have a community going from one location to another, seeking our services. Broward County is 2 million people in Broward County. Every adult in Broward County will have a need for tax collector service, whether it's they're paying property tax, business tax, or auto tag and title, or driver's license, hunting and fishing license. All those services are rendered by the tax collector. So it makes absolutely no sense for them to go to one place for auto tag, another place for property tax. So even though we are having a new office, under Broward County, we have established a solid foundation with the office that we have that can be replicated across the county. And it's a very successful office with my team. We've done this over and over again for the past 8 years. And I like to compliment my team because we've been doing this for such a long time. And we're running like a well-oiled machine. So we have that solid foundation under Broward County that we're going to replicate across the county to provide services to be closer to each community. So while it's a new office, the duties are the same. We're going to expand location. We're going to consolidate services. Our objective is always to be in those communities that we serve.
Great.
And that was one of the questions that I definitely was going to ask you. I was going to ask you what changes would you make in the tax collector's office? But you gave us a good list of some of the things. Like you said, you're going to be taking over the driver's license portion now, and we definitely need more driver license divisions. I know we used to have one here where we live at here in Deerfield. They closed it down, and now we got to go to Pompano, and that's always full. I think we definitely, like you said, you have good vision because we should be able to pay our taxes right here in the city where we live at instead of having to go to downtown or someone else. So that was definitely one of my questions. That was one of the questions that I definitely had for you. And you pretty much answered most of my questions that I had.
Well, I would like to add that what I'm looking forward to the most is setting up an outreach department on day one. And that is critical because what we do is so unknown to our community. We want to get the information out. We want to let them know what we do. We want to let them know the opportunities that are available in our offices that they can take advantage of. We want to let them know that their property tax can be affordable. We have ways of doing that. We want them to use the conveniences that we have. And we want them to know that if for any reason they're not able to pay their taxes, they should call us first so we can discuss their options with them, each person. So the outreach department to me is critical to connect with the communities that we serve. Each resident, whatever their needs are, there's no reason why they can't go into their local library and speak to a tax specialist about any particular situation that they need answered. We're problem solvers. That is our job. Our job is to connect with the community, provide the service that they need efficiently, and run our office to be fiscally responsible, where we're not wasting taxpayer dollars.
And I wanted to ask you a question. If a situation arises in the office where you're faced with maybe having to lay employees off, how would you handle a situation like that?
Okay. Unfortunately, we have situations where that might happen, but I don't anticipate layoffs because as a matter of fact, we're talking about expanding. So we are going to staff up. Right now, we have maybe close to 100 and change number of employees. So when we're talking about serving the whole county and expanding location, we will be staffing up, we will be hiring. And in addition to that, we have union workers, which means that we have happy workers. Our employees are very happy doing the job that they do. They have the benefits they deserve. They are earning a good salary. So we're looking to hire more people to get the job done. So I'm not anticipating any layoff because of the level of what we have to do. We have to hire more people, definitely, to expand the services across the county.
Will all of those jobs be in office jobs, or will some of those jobs be working from home?
We do not have a work from home situation where somebody can work from home. But what we do have, part of my responsibilities is also to collect business tax. And we have an enforcement division to that business section, whereby they may have to go out and do an inventory, for example. That would be the extent to which an employee will be out in the field. So we have field employees that will go out to do an inventory or to canvass, to inform people that they need to get a business license, for example. Because with a business license, anytime the county has grants or any training or classes available, they want to make sure they have that business tax. The business tax is at a nominal fee. So, you come to our office, every business in Broward County is required to have a business license. So that business license entitles them to other things besides operating within the county. They can apply for grants. We have the Office of Small Economic Development that, their main goal is to help small businesses develop their business plan, guide them in order to be successful in the business that they decide to do. So we do have an enforcement side to what we do that will go out in the field. We do not have anyone working from home. The other piece that will be in place is when we have an outreach program that I definitely want to implement on day one. We will be having employees in those communities that we serve. Your senior communities, for example, we may be rolling in mobile units to assist them with their driver's license services that they need.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yes. So those are some of the things that I plan on doing. That's my vision for the office. My vision for the office definitely includes an outreach department on day one, staffing up to better serve our communities and meeting them where they are one-on-one. So they get to know us, they get to know what we do and how we can better serve them.
That was a great answer right there. I really like that. When is the election?
The election is August 20. We have a primary on August 20.
On August the 20th. And is I understand it was something like a amendment. What is the Amendment 10?
So Amendment 10 is this new constitutional office is a result of Amendment 10. In the state of Florida, there's 67 counties, and Broward and Miami-Dade are the only two counties that do not have constitutional tax collector. So in the last election, 2018 election, it was on the ballot, and the question was, should Broward County have a constitutional tax collector like the rest of the state? Because we're currently working under a charter under Broward County. So the voters agreed that we should have a constitutional office, and that is a result of why we have this new office that's going on the ballot August 20.
Okay.
Yes, and that was voted on in 2018. I remember it made
correct
all. I believe it was like 60 something counties or something of that nature, 60 or 61 counties where they had to make all the sheriff and all of those elected constitutional officers now.
Yes, all the other counties already have those constitutional officers. Broward County was, and Miami-Dade are the only two that does not have a constitutional tax collector. I believe Miami-Dade does not have a Broward sheriff either, a constitutional officer.
They're headed that way.
Yes,
they're headed to
yes. We're both headed that way. Just with us, it's only the tax collector.
What took us so long though?
I have no idea. Well, Broward County is doing a really, really good job running the office. You know, I am very proud of the work that we have done under Broward County and under our division. So I'm very proud of that, even though now we have to become a constitutional office, pretty much independent and reporting directly to the Department of Revenue.
Okay. All right. So the election is on August the 20th. And the voters of Broward County is going to be going out and casting their votes. So here's your opportunity to look into that camera. And in about 3 minutes, I give you 3 minutes to tell the people of Broward County who's going to be voting for you why they should elect you as the first Broward County tax collector. And if you're elected, you will be the first Black female elected as tax collector in Broward County. So that'll be Black history. So a little
sure.
Black history nugget. So you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone on this podcast watching us. I appreciate you joining us. It is very important for me, like I previously said, to get this information out and to provide our community with information to make an informed decision about who to vote for in this election. This office, as I stated before, it's huge. The magnitude of what we represent for this county is huge. We're talking billions of dollars of taxpayer funds. So experience matters. And I am the only candidate in this race that can do the job on day one. Relevant experience matters. You know, I was hired by Broward County because I was the most qualified person out of several candidates to run this office to begin with. So I already have an endorsement of my qualification and experience by the county by hiring me to do this job. And I believe my team and I have done a very good job under Broward County to get this work done for our community. So I am looking forward to serving you. You've given me the privilege of serving you as the manager of this office for the past 8 years. And I dare to say that we have done a very good job under Broward County with our division director, Tom Kennedy. We've been able to, you know, manage this huge ship without any incident. Because trust me, if we do not do a good job, you will hear about it. Because this is taxpayer funds. We're entrusted to take care of this money, to make sure it gets to the right place. So I am looking forward to serving you as the first elected tax collector for Broward County. And I ask for your support and I humbly ask for your vote. On August 20, please vote Abbey for tax collector. Thank you very much. And to the Adams brothers, please keep doing what you're doing. You're very important for us to have this platform to get information out, not just about my office, about things going on around the county. So I do appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. And you can count on us to help get that information out to the community and accurate information. Before we let you go, tell the viewers how they could get in contact with you. Are you on social media, your phone number, your website? How could they find you?
All right, please donate. AbbeyAjayi.com, ABBEY.AJAYI.com. And August 20, vote Abbey for tax collector. Thank you.
All right.
And I wanted to ask you, are you going to be like doing any like speaking engagements around the county in the next few months? If you do, just let the viewers know where you're going to be at.
Yes.
People know.
Absolutely. I am doing that because I want to make sure that everyone has the right information to make an informed decision. Right after this podcast, I have a speaking engagement that I'm running off to. So I am doing that across the county and I will be putting that on my social media. So anybody that wants to check that out will be able to do so.
Okay. And what social media handles are you on? Are you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Okay.
And if you get elected, Abby, please come back on here. Don't be a stranger. We tell everyone that all the time. You know, please come back on our platform because the voters need to see a face to the person that's managing the office.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. We've been talking to Miss Abbey Ajayi. She's running for Broward County tax collector. She's asking for your vote on August the 20th, 2024, the primary vote. And again, like I said, she's asking for your vote. She answered some very good. She has some very good questions, very good ideas. So if you missed the podcast, go back and watch the playback. So, Miss Ajayi, thank you so much for stopping by the Adams Brothers podcast. It was a pleasure talking with you, and good luck to you in the primary.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.